Right, so we're getting on now with Joy News Interactive. Aisha, you take it away.
And it's all about water, water, water. I'm sure you've taken water for, you can't even remember how many times you've taken. But did you know that 1.8 billion people globally use a source of drinking water contaminated with feces? Do you also know that you could be part of the 1.8 billion because 3 out of every 5 Ghanaians drink water contaminated with feces? This according to research. Well, today is World Water Day and experts have identified galamsey as one of our headaches in Ghana and are warning of a crisis if the pollution of our rivers and water bodies are not halted. So tell me, if you were a minister for water resources, what drastic measures would you take to save our water bodies?
If I'm a minister for water resources, the first measure that or the first step I'll take is that I'll make sure that I'll use the military to drive away all the Chinese in this country involving in illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey, and every chief that is associated with that such act too, I'll make sure that he's also arrested.
Actually, I'll prevent people from dumping refuse into the water bodies. Also, people defecating around the water bodies, and this galamsey around the water bodies will be prevented.
How would you do that?
Or there'll be watchdogs around, there'll be security men around. Like there'll be security actually.
I'll face the illegal mining sector, which is, polluting our water body because they are spoiling our water bodies. And henceforth, we are not getting proper water to sell. Henceforth, I'll put in a place whereby there will be a task force, okay, that will protect all the water bodies containing, all the water bodies that we have in almost the 10 regions to protect that. And also, I will encourage plantation. There will be like afforestation around the water bodies.
Well, a lot of interesting measures people will put in place if they happen to be ministers for water resources. But don't forget, it's on facebook.com/joynews on TV, and on Twitter is on Joy News. Let's check out what you've been sending on Facebook.
Abdul Gafaru says it's hard to even think today is World Water Day in our country today because many cities don't have potable water to drink, not to even talk about the rural areas. So what is there to celebrate? And Pele says water covers about 70% of the world. What it means is that water should have been the cheapest commodity in the market, but unfortunately it is not the case in our part of the world. Our water bodies are polluted, and potable water to drink in Ghana is about 40%. It is worrisome. After 6 years of independence, and my mother Ghana can't afford to provide water for every Ghanaian. God save Ghana. Samuel Menson says galamsey must be criminalized, farming around the water bodies must be banned, Forestry Commission must provide gas to protect our water bodies from all forms of activities deemed inimical to the survival of rivers. Good point, Samuel.
And Makante Matthew says, I would enforce the laws against indiscriminate cutting of trees along our water bodies as well as galamsey strictly to ensure our water bodies are safe to provide us good drinking water. Boateng Kenneth Dakwa says, I will ensure that people don't contaminate waters with their animals, and I'll also do my best to stop all illegal mining galamsey around our water bodies. Amwako Rexford of Paris writes, I will even travel by helicopter to release bombs, really, on the small-scale mining people. They are destroying almost 99% of our water bodies. And Kwekwa Beku says, I will just stamp authority for galamsey to stop. Now, see where we are. We ain't serious as a nation. We have forgotten rubbing an inch constantly becomes what malignant boil.
Malignant boil. So rubbing an itch constantly becomes a malignant boil.
Boil.
It's a saying.
Okay, Richard Kwekwo from Pomansa says, very Makwabaji from Jiniji says, if I were the Minister for Water Resources and Sanitation, I would do any way. Okay, I'll do anything. I'm sure that's what you want to say.
I'll do away with the many rhetoric, as is currently the case, and get the dire situations of water shortages in many places, including Sunyani. I would follow the vision of President Mahama and provide potable water to other places, as happened in Teshi, Adenta, Chebi, and many other places. God bless Ghana, you say.
and a lot of your messages on Facebook. Now, also the world is growing fast, so are our children. Our children these days are exposed to lots of information and new things due to the fast-growing media, especially social media. This has to a large extent made it difficult for parents to control what their children explore, including sex. And you know, this is one key issue parents find difficult discussing with their children, mostly due to religious and cultural concerns. So let's help ease the tension here and share our views on this one with parents. How soon should parents start discussing sex with their children?
Kids of today are very smart. But I think age 5 they can or they will understand. Yes, when you talk to them about it, you tell them, just showing them their body part. They should know their body parts, and they should know. Yes, they should be aware of their body parts because they see it. They see it on TV. They see it when they see it everywhere.
Probably when you enter primary 3, 4, 5, you start educating your child about sex education. Yeah.
Okay, why?
Because you see, these days we have this, the world is a modernized world. You get it. A child in primary 3 can manipulate computer and stuff. So when a child is in class 3, he has more knowledge than times 1990s, because we're in a modernized world. So at the age of class 3, since your child can operate phone, machines, laptop, and that stuff, yeah, you should, yeah.
So let me find out your opinion too. How soon should parents start?
Yeah, I really agree with my friend because for now we are in a technological world. And you know, in class 1, even class 1, children know about sex. They know about sex. They see magazines and the things they see in it is very bad. So I think at very age, around 6, when they are 6, 7, 8 years, you have to talk about sex to them. Tell them how sex is, and also try to put some fear in them so that they will not get closer to them. Because for nowadays, you see 15, 16, 17, and they are giving birth, and they cannot take care of them.
I believe parents should start talking about their children from the age of 14, which is very mature age to speak to your children. Yeah.
Why not age 5 or 7 or even less?
I think by the age of 5 or 7, they are too immature, very young to understand. But from 14 going, they are really mature and they will understand everything.
So, but don't you think that children are exposed to a lot of things these days that you probably need to start a bit earlier?
Yeah, of course, children are exposed to a lot of things these days because this present generation, there are a lot of good and bad things.
All right, I'm tempted to find out from Israel what you think. Somebody says as early as 6. I think 6 may be too early, maybe probably.
It's never too early, 6, 7, because the kids pick up things very, very quickly, especially because
around that age.
Yeah, because they're in school and they're in school with other kids. It depends on what you're teaching them. So there's some things you can tell them at age 6, 7, and there's some things you have to tell them at age 10.
At 8, so you just have to know how to...
what you're telling them.
Exactly. So, right, let's see what you've been saying on Facebook.
Berma Kuba G says, as soon as the child enters the teenage period, where all the signs of maturity appear, 6 months we talked about. I'm sorry, Richard, at that time it's too late. They must be told all there is in doing the act and the possible repercussions. In so doing, I think they'll be careful as regards to how to approach the act. Abdul says, very interesting. Educating children on sex is very significant in Israel life, especially the religious aspect. If, like a Muslim, it's an obligation on duties for parents to do so, especially when he or she is getting to the adult stage. George says, now children are very sharp, so parents can start educating them before they get to the teenage, and this will help them very well. Rex says, sex education makes children more curious The only thing you need to do as parents is to nurture them in the religion you believe in. Oh, you think it makes them more curious?
I think it rather settles their mind. I mean, it answers a lot of the questions they will be asking or thinking about. Williams Campbell says, I will not discuss any such things with my child. I'll do my father's way. He will not cane you with a stake. Hashtag bear palm and blues. Okay, Williams, Dede and Carl Barling says, as early as when they learn to speak, oh, the parent has to be fast about it before the peer next door tries. In doing so, the parent ought to communicate us with a friend in a gentle, still voice as it penetrates the soul. Amakorex for the Pari writes, this thing is becoming serious and problematic in Ghana here and has contributed massively to early motherhood. So I think at the age of 7, parents should start telling the child about it until the child is 18. True? I think I agree with you. Finally, social media is the new world for friends, family, businesses to connect and establish relationships in a very convenient way. Now, most people learn new things on social media, and most importantly, they share their views on pertinent issues. Of course, not all will agree with your stance on some issues on social media. Now, a case in point is our own Manasseh Azoria when his post on the Africa CEOs Conference on Facebook, which went viral on social media. This was due to the reply by one of his followers on that post. Well, people have their own reservations about the post and the reply as well. But the question I ask is, how seriously do you take replies to your comments on social media?
I don't take it too serious because social media is just for fun. So I don't take their comments too serious. And I don't take it personal too. After all, we're all there to have fun, so I don't take it too serious. I just see it to be like fun.
So don't you write something really serious that you feel people's comments would definitely hurt you in a way?
Yeah, sometimes when I write something about Islam and someone comments something in a bad way, I feel bad because in a way I'm spreading my religion. So if you comment badly to it, I won't be happy and it will hurt me.
I think it's very personal. Reasons being that if you should put something out there and then you have people who respond to it, it means that especially a positive comment from people, it flatters you, that is, you are flattered about it. If it comes in the other way, that is the negative comments, sometimes if whatever you posted there, you may think is right. So when the comment is negative, sometimes it gives you a way of advice, in a way. You can pick a cue from that.
People's reply on social media shouldn't be taken personal. I mean, we are all just trying to have fun online, right?
So well, imagine you wrote something very serious and then someone came to comment in a very rude manner. How would you take it?
As I said, I won't take it personal. Most of the time, people comment on your stuff on Facebook are people you don't know, right? So just someone's thoughts is putting across. Shouldn't really care.
I don't think you would have to take everything they say seriously because we are all there to have fun. And that's mostly what people are there for. So in having fun, you'd post a comment and definitely people would go disagreeing with you. So they disagreeing with your perception or your view of things shouldn't be a reason why you'd go also angry and quarrel about that.
All right, let's go straight to Facebook. Let's check out a lot of the messages coming in.
Demdea says, sometimes just ignore. Never try to justify yourself with a person who doesn't buy your idea. I know this comes at the back of Manasseh's recent post and the subsequent event following the reply to that by Nana Kwame. I can't think far. Join you. So, Kwesi Boateng says the best way to deal with situations like this is to ignore. There are some of the comments about an article that when you read can even cure your hernia. And attempt to respond will even attract other comments that can raise your BP. A wise man once said nothing. Koto Nero says, it teaches us that knowledge is not embedded in one man, so you must be careful of your choice of words and limit imposition of your twisted intelligence. Rex Nanasiwa says, I try to understand every option on my comments or opinion on my comments. But at times, if you don't control your temper on some people's comments, you will do what is not expected of you.
And Makante Matthew says, sometimes some of the replies are so irritating and I just ignore them because opinion they say is like noses and everyone has one. Richard Kweku from Pomans says, replies to my comments generate serious debate whenever they come, especially when the topic and the discussion is quite topical and trending. Disagreements come, but they come so we agree to disagree. It makes the discussions on Facebook in particular so enjoyable. The Medea Simon says, just imagine a comment prayer like, every Manasseh in your life will meet his Nana Kwame someday. And he laughs out loud. George Wagon says, this sometimes happens, but man, if you don't buy it, ignore and move forward, because maybe it will help another person. And Haruna Isa says, some comments are funny, like Manasseh, but generally some comments are very educative. And Kwesijan says, if it's like that of Manasseh and Nana Kwame, I will not respond. Interesting comments on Facebook. And that'll be it for the interactive segment. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Have a great evening.